Oh, everyone, I thought I'd give a little update. I've been busy and I haven't had a chance to really do any updates, but just got done mowing a little bit of lawn. As you can see, some of this is growing up, but that's kind of gives me privacy. But I did mowed out the fishing area so I can go fishing. Mowed a path to the fishing area. I've been mowing all this, trying to keep it cleaned up, keep ahead of the weeds that grow. But this path is turning out really nice, keeping it cleaned up. I think I missed updating about the trees being cut down, but we cut down all the dead, dying, leaning trees along here, along with the willow tree. There was one that fell in the backyard, and the other ones weren't very far along from doing that, so I had them cut down too. It opens it up a little bit more. I think it's gonna allow stuff to, nothing grew under that tree anyways, and I'm hoping it'll allow the grass and the lawn to grow in like it is starting to along the creek here. Got a nice wide path through here. This is growing in. I'm trying to get ahead of it. I'm gonna have to take some clippers and cut some of this other garbage stuff down the, oh geez, I think it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's that stuff with the long narrow leaves. I can't think of the name, but I got a bunch of that growing on here, and I've been just trying to cut into it a little bit. I was waiting for the grass to grow, and then that got ahead of me, and now it's too far ahead, and I've got to try and catch up. I got it. Back lawn's looking good. I got all this firewood from cutting down them trees. Some will burn, some of the brush probably won't do anything with. I gotta cut this down before I clothesline myself on it one of these days. But got a log there. Got a bunch of logs up in there. I'm not gonna ever burn it all, so probably just leave it there. Got a bunch of logs there. Maybe I'll have a big fire someday and enjoy a nice fire with a bunch of big logs. But this is all growing up along this hill here that we cleaned all up, and it offers a nice privacy down back when you're fishing. But this is a backyard. Still, the grass is still thickening up, but I might have to seed it again since it's clay. It takes a while to get something started like what I've got here. Even here I messed it up when I had my excavator down here cleaning up all the wood, and I was cutting all that up and I made a mess. And I tore up the lawn a little bit, but it'll come back. And that big tree, that's a locust. And then that's all black locust. And then I'll think about that tree. I can't, or bush or whatever it is. I can't remember what that is called. But all this is growing up nice. It kind of keeps the privacy in the backyard. But I do have some good news here when I get up front towards the front yard. Got this hill to the front lawn. I took all them stumps out, cleaned it up. Still got a lot of wood to get rid of. I'll probably end up having to burn it to get rid of it, but there's so much of it, I don't really have time for good weather to burn. But this hill here is coming out. I can drive. I got a riding mower. I can ride it up and down these hills, and I've been able to keep this mowed. I tore up the front yard. That's part of the news that I've got today. Having that all tore up is part of the good news. See if I can show you the part of the good news. I got a septic system installed. Septic tanks here, leach fields out there where I've got it blocked off so nobody drives over it until I find a way to block it off. But I've been fairly busy dealing with that and getting that approved and getting it installed. I help having somebody install it. But got a lot more of that plant. I can't remember the name of it. But it grows like crazy, and I use it for, I actually let it grow because it is good shade and screening, privacy. Helps with erosion. There's the side lawn after the septic was installed. Not really much new up here. Got the little help with the lawnmower. I've been using that. That's a lot easier to mow with. The lawn is growing really well. Down back, but not so much here. Got some concrete here. Gotta have it leveled off eventually. Level that off eventually. I want to level all this off so I can run a lawnmower down through here. Here's my driveway to the backyard. A little steep, but yeah, this is growing in really nice. I'm letting it grow. Is it? Good for privacy, erosion control. This is starting to thicken up. Might seed it again in the fall. But it's getting there. Got the septic installed. Tiny house is coming along. I haven't had too much time to do anything in there, but I'm working on it. Nice little view of the fishing area. Have a little fire pit area. And have a little fire down there. Set up some chairs. Willow tree. I still keep some of it. It's good shade. So I leave some of it. I've got to cut some of the stuff that's lower, and branches are starting to be where you can hit their head on them. So I gotta. It's slowly dying, but I don't. Like certain parts of it are dying. The stump there is rotten from the inside so it's rotten from the inside and working its way out. So even though I had those few big branches cut down, it's still slowly sagging down. That one just above the table, when I had it cut down, it was actually quite a bit higher. Now it's sagging even more. It's just, I'm hoping to cut this half of the stump off on top and leave the stuff in the water. You don't want to mess with that. I just want to get this stuff away from that tree that's growing there, and hopefully that'll be a nice tree. But yeah, now that I've got all this opened up here, the grass seems to want to try and grow down there. Makes for a nice little place for a fire pit. There's still a lot of leaves and stuff there. I go with little maintenance as possible. Whatever grows there, grows there. Other than spreading seed on the lawn and the hills to control erosion, this area I'm just letting the leaves and stuff rot, and it's actually turning out really nice because this whole backyard area along the creek didn't really grow anything at all, and once all that stuff started breaking down and rotting away, the grass is really starting to grow well. It's actually starting to compete with some of the weeds and look nice. And this is my firewood. All that kindling, all them chunks of logs. Got more to cut up down there. Yeah, all that. All this nice path along the creek is filling in nice. I just gotta get ahead of these weeds that are on the hill. It's kind of steep, so I don't know, maybe I won't ever cut it. I might just leave it that way and just keep it. I might just cut it back in the fall, so I'll cut all these all the big stuff I'll cut back in the fall, and I'll mulch it down into the lawn, and maybe I'll just leave it like that because it is too steep to cut. But I'm very lucky to have a good lawn here. Hopefully I'll have a good lawn up top where the septic system is when that finally grows back. It's starting to. I seeded it, but it's not really. We haven't had a lot of good rain. We seem to get a day of rain and a few days of really hot weather, which I think it dries out before it really gets to use the water that we get with the rain. But yeah, all these logs from cutting them trees down. Just the back lawn looking really nice. Yeah, that's one of the trees I cut down. That was dead. There was another one over there that was dead. Got this willow tree, but that's not on my line. It's just over the property line. So that's nothing I can touch. That one there is dead, but it's leaning over the creek, and if it falls, it's going to fall in the water. So that won't be a problem. Yeah, I got this. Boy. Yeah, you might be able to see I got some grass growing in up there. Slowly growing in. But this septic is a big win for me. I didn't think I was ever going to get it approved. But there's the lawn. Hopefully it'll grow. Well, thanks for checking out my video. Hopefully I'll have more updates soon. Get some plumbing in the cabin. Tiny home. Get this lawn so it's growing and I can cut the lawn. Be a huge win to get. But I'm really liking how the lawn's coming out. I don't really do much to it other than here I threw some seed, and I threw some seed through here a few times, but I think I tore up again. And I think other than the septic, there might be one more big project that I want to complete that'll make a mess here, but I'm getting towards the end of big projects, and I guess we'll see what happens.